How's it going, everyone? Today we're taking a look at KaiOS versus the Nokia Series 30 devices. These devices do not only come in candy bar, they also come in flip phone if that's your flavor. KaiOS devices also come in candy bar formats. However, most of the Nokia ones only come in flip phone format. This is a Nokia 2780. It's unlocked and you can use it pretty much anywhere. And this one is the Nokia 225 4G, which also comes unlocked and you can use it pretty much anywhere. Both great devices. They have pretty much the same features. And today we're going to talk about advantages and disadvantages and which one's the best one for you. So as you want to see more comparisons, make sure to put it in the comments below and I'll be making comparisons between the devices that you want to see compared. But essentially they have pretty similar, they look similar in the icons, but they're completely different inside. Like once we go into the text engine, for example, right here, we're going to go to a new message, and as you see, it's a different design, a completely different engine. This one, for example, can do group text messages. So if I put a phone number, and then I put another one, it tells me it's a new message, but now it's a group text message. It's not necessarily just a bare bones, just regular message, SMS. Now you can send it as a group MMS. And for those of us in North America, it's actually very useful. But for those of you maybe that need WhatsApp or certain things of that nature, these devices may not be for you since they don't have that ability. This is essentially for SMS purposes. But as you see here, this one doesn't have the capability of creating more text messages, as in like having the extra group text message functionality. If you actually add two numbers into this, what you will get is you will get actually... you will not get the ability to send a text message, but they will send separately. So two threads to the two phone numbers. So you will not have that ability. And the text font is pretty fine. Like, I mean, when you are composing, so here we have a triple click, hello, right there. And here you can also do triple click. I believe I have it on predictive mode, but right there's hello, I am Jose. Let's see, there you go. Boom. And here you will have to triple click it. You do have the ability to, in messages or in keyboard, you do have the ability to bring some of the message settings and also enable predictive text on this device. I believe if I press the key right here, it should bring a dialogue. Oh, it is changing the dialogue right there. So one of them needs to be enabled for this to work with predictive text, and you have kind of like the same engine that runs on this one, so it's going to be extremely similar. So if all you want is calls and text messages and you don't want any extra features, I would say the Series 30 devices do suffice. They're pretty good. They last pretty decently on battery life. So this one is about 2 to 3 days, 3 to 4 days, maybe even more if you don't use it that much. This is the same, 2 to 3 days. Maybe 4 if you go into like, very scaled down use and you don't, use a lot of the smart applications that we're going to go over here in just a second. They both have 3.5mm headphone jacks. They both have cameras. They're serviceable cameras. They're not amazing cameras. They're not supposed to be. These are dumb phones, right? They're not supposed to be the most amazing thing in the world, but they have cameras right here. To take a picture and maybe send it, things of that nature. When you are on messages here, you do have the ability to go to options and add a subject or also add an attachment. So if you want to add an attachment, it will tell you, okay, you maybe took a picture from gallery or a video or a camera, music, contacts, recorder, things of that nature. The video functionality sometimes doesn't work. Just putting it out there. Sometimes it really depends on your signal strength and carrier if it's going to be able to deliver it or the length of the video. As you see, there are some extra applications here. Some of them you cannot uninstall. So like Google Maps, YouTube, and Google, they're not harvesting any data. They're essentially just shortcuts to the web browser version, so they're not actually harvesting any data, so you shouldn't be concerned in those terms. But if you don't want to support anything Google, well, you can just go with this device, which doesn't have essentially anything else. This one, Facebook right here, Facebook is not a real Facebook application. It's just a shortcut to the web browser. So if you don't use it, you don't have to use it. Let's show you the web browser experience for both devices. They're extremely different. So right here, we're going to go. We're going to open Facebook, the shortcut right there. And you will see this one's on LTE, this one's on Wi-Fi. So this one's going to be a little bit faster. But this one doesn't have Wi-Fi, so you cannot connect it to Wi-Fi. And that's a little bit of a drawback. This one has hotspot, this one doesn't. So again, it depends on how smart do you want your device to be. But whenever we go to right there. This one looks a little bit smarter, a little bit flashier, because it is meant actually to be open in a smartphone. This is what the mobile version looks like, but it's because it's a Firefox engine and you need a cursor in order to make it work. This one is an Opera Mini version, which is essentially the old version right there, and you can navigate it because it's made for a dumb phone. So most web pages are not necessarily made for dumb phones, but it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a more smart experience, definitely KaiOS is what I will recommend. If you're looking for more a basic experience, I would say definitely go with the Nokia 225 or the Series 30 devices. There are other basic experiences that I'll be comparing. I'll be comparing this to the Light phone, to the Punkt phone, things of that nature. Again, if you want to look into a specific comparison, make sure to put it in the comments below, and I'll probably consider it and put it in my list of things that I need to do. You do have an FM radio. This one works without a headphone jack. This one only works with a headphone jack. So pardon the staticky noise right now in just a second. And right there, you can set the frequency, but we're going to close it because it has a staticky noise. This one will not open unless you have a headphone right there in order to receive the radio signal. And you do have some file managers. You have email on this one, which actually works decently, I will say. You won't have like the best experience in the world, but you can set it up with your name. You can create Gmail. I have IMAP. You can set it up with different protocols in here. So it's a little bit smarter. You do have calendars in both of these, but they are not the most feature robust. Let's put it that way. Let me see. Where is it? I think it's on extra tools. There are extras right there. Converter, stopwatch, torch. Where is the calendar? Oh, right there. Sorry, I missed it. There it is right there. They're very different experiences. If you want to see right here in the calendar, you can both add events, right? So you have an event, you have an ability to add an event, but this one's really limited. This one blocks you, I believe at 20 or 25 entries. So after that, you kind of have to reset. So it's a little bit of a bummer. If you sync email with this one, sometimes it syncs, but I wouldn't rely on it 100%. That's just my take on it. But you have more extensibility, especially if you add an SD card. If you keep the memory intact, you're able to, create all of the events, things of that nature. You also have, again, this is more like smart apps. This one is more basic. So you have an alarm clock right there. You can set up alarms. You can repeat them. You have essentially just the basics on this device. And on the KaiOS device, it's a little bit more app-based. So you can go into the web store and maybe go into utilities, download a podcast app. My favorite podcast app on this is let's go into maybe education. Yeah, PodLP right there. Best app for KaiOS for podcasts is actually very good. The developer is very active. This one doesn't have that because, again, it's not necessarily looking to be super smart. But the Nokia 2780 has a couple games, if that's what you're into. It does have the ability to go into Twitter, technically. It's not going to be the best experience in the world, but you do have the ability. You have some games, you have some utilities, a sound meter, you have filters, random phone number, lifestyle, night clock, sunrise, sunset, like what the news says, a couple of extra podcast app, RSS readers. So it's not going to be extremely distracting, but it's definitely going to be more feature robust. So for example, here I have LibriVox audiobooks, which is where you can get free audiobooks and you can download them essentially, from their store. So you can search, let's search just, whatever, hide. I don't even know if it's going to showcase something. Nope, no books found. Let's see. Benjamin. Right there. Let's see if it finds something. Oh, let me put not author. Oh, the last name. Title and genre. Let's see. Last name. Franklin. There it is. Let's see if there's any Franklins. Oh, there it is. Autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. That's what I was actually looking for because I know it's possible to see it. So right there, you have the ability to listen to everything and it's free. And, that way you don't have to pay for it. Another recommendation is Libby if you have a smarter device or even a computer terminal. You also have K-Music, which is another favorite of mine. Which allows you to get way more extensibility, playlist, artist, albums, if you have sorted them by that. Now, This is a perfect timing, and this just happened. I didn't plan it to happen this way, but it just happened. This is the main drawback for KaiOS. All applications that are not first party, so that do not come preloaded with the phone, but are third parties, things that you download in the store, will have the unfortunate reality of advertisements. So you have to dismiss it, or if you're interested, you can do whatever you want and go into it. But every so often, it's not massive, but every so often you will have ads like this one right here plague your phone while you're using third-party applications. Luckily, the only third-party applications that I really use are music-based. So you see this, and although it's annoying, you dismiss it, you go play your music, you go back, and then you never have to see those ads again unless you open the app again. And again, this doesn't happen in the first party. So for example, this is the Notes app. It comes with the phone. It's not going to have ads. This is the To Do. That one is not going to have it. News, yes, it's going to have it because it's a third party one. Email, no, you're not going to have ads. Browser, no ads. You're going to have the calendar, calculator, all the stuff that comes with the phone is not going to have ads. But everything that has been downloaded from the store, 9 out of 10 times is going to have ads. So PodLP, favorite podcast application, sadly, is going to have ads. And I mean, it sucks, but that's just the reality of how it works. But you can subscribe, and I personally like it. And sometimes, again, they're annoying, but they're not as common as you would think. So I wouldn't say don't get a device because of that, but really be mindful with it. This is the actual device that you want. I showcased the KaiOS DureX V Extreme, which that one just doesn't have ads. You know, it's just a little bit better, but it's definitely more expensive. I mean, these devices, this one's $49, this one's $89, the KaiOS is $200, but again, you get what you pay for, at least in my opinion. You do have maps with this one. No maps with the Nokia 2254G, unless you go into Google Maps on the browser. But even then, let me tell you, it's not going to be the most amazing experience in the world. Let's go and try it just for a little bit. It's not going to locate your position. It's not going to give you directions that are turn by turn. It's not something that you're like, oh yes, like I'm going to be getting turn by turn directions with this device. No, it's mainly like, okay, let's go to Maps. Let's see if it opens. Google Maps. Let's see. Right there. So boom, this one right here is a web-based application, but it's actually not just a shortcut. This is like an actual application that they developed, and you can look up, you can voice search, you can have all of the different things. As you see, the navigation on this one is starting to get a little bit slower because the processor, the operating system is just not the same. It's not supposed to be that fast. But with this one, you have voice search, you have show map, you have directions, you have layers, places of worship, gas stations, restaurants. You have everything that you need. And it will pinpoint your location and give you directions. This is not going to follow you or give you directions live turn by turn, but it's going to follow you. So, you know, the blue thing that we're used to, like the blue GPS position location is going to follow you, but you need to press next in order to get directions. So if you want to get directions, let's say I want to go to Starbucks. This is usually one of the things that I showcase every single time. And I want to go from a location in the map. Let's say right there, it's going to give me a set of directions, just like this one. Let's say that we want to drive right there. And essentially, when I press go, it's going to follow you. It's going to, you know, follow the blue tracking position, but then you have to click next. And after you click next, it gives you the next direction, and then you kind of have to keep an eye on that. So not the most amazing, because again, this is not Android. This is not supposed to be turn by turn, but it's supposed to be more of like, hey, you're walking or taking public transport and you have the ability to reference a little bit. It's not meant for a car. At least not yet. But as you see, it does have way more applications than this one. It's way smarter. Here we are trapped on the Opera Mini browser, trying to figure it out if Google Maps works, but it doesn't really do anything. But you have a smarter device with KaiOS and a very basic device with the Series 30 devices. And in my opinion, it's what is your value? If it's simplicity and you only want text calls and maybe the ability to get some information on a pinch on a web browser, or do you want something that's smarter and it does have a couple of extra niceties here and there? The KaiOS Store, you can check a couple of the applications on their website. It's not going to have the robust applications that iOS or Android have, so just letting you know from the get-go. But it does have some commodities, some extra things like PodLP, It does have the music application, which I enjoy. It does have LibriVox, which you can listen to. It's mainly essentially audio-based applications. It does have Kai Weather. This one's a third party, so we may see an ad in here. But if you want to consult the weather, it does have the weather right there. But again, it's a smarter operating system. It's not necessarily a very basic one, but right there is showing what the weather is going to be like today. Well, if you have any questions about these devices and you want to see more comparisons, please make sure to put it in the comments right there. I'll be interacting with you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.